Hello learners, welcome to Unfold You, your favorite digital learning platform. I am Meenu Agarwal, your biology subject mentor. In this video, we will talk about a very important chapter of biology, that is reproduction in organisms. Reproduction. What do you understand by the word reproduction? Let us understand this word first. Reproduction. Reproduction means to reproduce, to produce their own type, अपने ही जैसे और produce कर देना. Students, have you thought why reproduction is necessary? Why we reproduce? This cycle of birth, growth and reproduction and death, it continues, right? What the cycle is? Birth, growth, reproduction and death. It continues. So this cycle is called as reproduction. Now why we need to reproduce? Actually, it helps in continuity of species. It helps in perpetuation of race, right? So this is reproduction, to produce their own kind, to reproduce similar types, right? To continue the cycle of birth, growth, reproduction and death. And why we reproduce? To maintain the species, to continuity of species, for the perpetuation of the race. So is that clear? Why we reproduce, right? Now reproduction, what are the basic things which happen during reproduction? First of all, there is replication of DNA, right? Synthesis of RNA and proteins, growth of the cells, formation of individuals. So these are the things which take place during reproduction, right? Now each organism have their own mechanism of reproduction. Now what factors they decide the mechanism of reproduction? So this internal physiology, उनकी अंदर की physiology कैसी है, that decides how they will reproduce, right? Habitat and some other factors. I hope it is clear to you. Now we are talking about reproduction in general. What is reproduction? Let me say to reproduce, to produce their own kind, that is called reproduction, right? Now what are the factors which decide the mechanism, how the organisms are going to reproduce? So three things we can say. The one is internal physiology, second is habitat, and some other factors. They decide what will be the mechanism of reproduction. I hope this introduction, general introduction of reproduction is clear to you all, right? Now come to this slide. Definition. Reproduction is a biological process of formation of new offsprings from pre-existing organisms. I'll repeat, it is a biological process of formation of new offsprings from pre-existing organisms. It is a vital process which ensures the continuity of the species. ये process ensure करता है कि species एक के बाद दूसरी, दूसरी के बाद तीसरी, they remain continued on the earth, right? Now let us talk about another very important term related to reproduction, lifespan. What is lifespan? The complete period from birth to death of an organism is called lifespan, right? So what is lifespan? The period from birth to death of an organism is called lifespan. Now this lifespan, we have divided the complete lifespan into 4 different phases, right? We will talk about them later also, and in this also slide. What are the 4 phases? Juvenile phase, right? Then we have mature phase, then we have senescence phase, and death. So lifespan has 4 phases. Juvenile phase, that is the young phase when the organism begins to grow and becomes ready to reproduce. Organism grows and becomes ready to reproduce. Mature phase, when organism starts reproducing. Senescence, when all the body functions, they start deteriorating, that is called as senescence, and the senescence ultimately leads to death. Death means cessation. सारी बॉडी की एक्टिविटीज जब स्टॉप हो जाती हैं, that is called as cessation. So 4 phases: juvenile phase, then reproductive or mature phase, senescence, and death. That is lifespan of an organism, right? Lifespan, it varies from organism to organism. It is different for different organisms. For some organisms like butterfly, it may be from 1 to 2 weeks, or it may be thousands of years in case of banyan tree, right? So I'll repeat, the lifespan is the period from birth to death. It varies from organisms to organisms. One thing let me make clear here: lifespan, it is not related to size of organisms. साइज से रिलेटेड नहीं है ऑर्गेनिज्म की. इट इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू साइज. अगर हम कहें क्रो, लेट अस टेक एग्जांपल, क्रो एंड पैरेट. क्रो का लाइफ स्पैन कितना है? 15 ईयर्स. पैरेट का कितना है? 140 years. Size is same. So I conclude here, it is not related to size of an organism, and the lifespan, it varies from organism to organism, right? Now let us see the various organisms and their lifespans. See, let us compare the lifespans of different organisms with the help of this slide. Now this is a rose flower having lifespan 5 to 7 years. As I said, crow is having lifespan 15 years. Parrot's lifespan is 140 years, right? Bee's lifespan 1 to 2 weeks. It is 1 to 2 weeks, right? Crocodile's lifespan 60 years. Tortoise lifespan 140 to 150 years. Lifespan of horse 60 years, right? Cow 25 years, right? Bamboo 50 to 100 years, right? Dog's lifespan 25 years, right? Elephant's lifespan is 60 to 75 years. I hope it is clear to you. Rice plant, about 4 months lifespan. So this is the lifespan of various organisms. Banyan tree 200 to 300 years, right? Banyan tree 200 to 300 years, right? It is clear to you the lifespan of various organisms. Now let us look at the lifespans of various organisms with the help of another slide. See, lifespan of some organisms I have written here. Mayfly 1 day, fruit fly 30 days, rice plant 3 to 4 months, wheat 6 months, tortoise 140 to 150 years, parrot 140 years, crow 15 years, cow 20 to 25 years, dog 20 to 30 years, crocodile 60 years, elephant's lifespan ranges from 60 to 90 years, or you can say 60 to 75 years also. Banyan tree 300 to 500 years. Is that clear to you? Right? So these are the various lifespans of lifespan of various organisms. Right? Now let us continue further. Now we will talk about types of reproduction. What are the different types of reproduction? Now reproduction is clear to you. What is reproduction? Right? We have two categories of reproduction, two types of reproduction. Right? One is asexual, other is sexual. Right? So reproduction based on whether one organism is taking part in the process of reproduction or two organisms are taking part. Right? This is asexual and sexual reproduction. Right? Now let us understand this. First of all, asexual reproduction. Let me clear in few lines what is the difference between asexual and sexual. A means without sexes, means both the sexes are not involved. So only one sex is involved, only single parent is involved. So we say asexual is uniparental. एक ही parent involved है तो इसको हम क्या कहेंगे? Uniparental. Right? So sexes involved नहीं है तो fertilization does not take place. So I can say no fertilization occurs during asexual reproduction. Right? Fertilization नहीं होगी तो variations कहाँ से आएंगी? So variations are not present. Variations नहीं आएंगी तो evolution नहीं होगा. Right? Evolution will not be seen in the organisms. Is that clear? Asexual reproduction क्योंकि एक ही पेरेंट के द्वारा होती है, यूनिपेरेंटल है. सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन दो पेरेंट्स इन्वॉल्व है, इसलिए हम इसको कहेंगे बाइपेरेंटल. राइट? बिकॉज इसमें क्या है, एक ही पेरेंट है तो फर्टिलाइजेशन इज नॉट देयर, बट हेयर फर्टिलाइजेशन अकर्स. इज दैट क्लियर? टेक्स प्लेस. फर्टिलाइजेशन टेक्स place. I hope it is clear to you, right? And in case of asexual, variations are not seen in the organisms because fertilization is absent. But in case of sexual, variations are present. Variations occur in the organisms. Variations occur होंगी तो क्या होगा? Evolution of organisms will take place. I hope this is clear to you. Right? The difference between asexual and sexual reproduction. Right? Now, next we will continue with the asexual reproduction. First, asexual reproduction. What are the types we are going to study under asexual reproduction? We have 6 different types. Right? Number 1, fission. Right? Fission. Then we have fragmentation, right? Then we have gamete formation, right? Regeneration, budding, and last of all, spore formation. I hope all these 6 types are clear to you. कौन कौन से 6 types हम डिस्कस करेंगे सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन के अंदर? पहला आ गया फिशन, दूसरा आ गया फ्रेगमेंटेशन, थर्ड इज गैमे फॉर्मेशन, फोर्थ इज रीजनरेशन, then fifth is budding and spore formation. We will take up all these one by one. Right? Now next, asexual, let us compare the two. We have already done. Let us again compare the two. It is uniparental, it is biparental. There is no gamete formation. Here we have gamete formation. There is no fertilization. There is fertilization. No variation. Yes, variations occur. No evolution of species. Here, evolution of genetically different species takes place. So this is the difference between sexual and asexual reproduction. We will start with the types of asexual reproduction, right? Let us take up first of all spore formation, right? Spores क्या होते हैं? Single celled structures, right? They can be of two types, motile and non-motile. Motile जो मूव कर सकते हैं, non-motile जो मूव नहीं कर सकते. Motile का एग्जाम्पल है zoospores. As you can see, these are zoospores. They are having flagella. This is in case of Chlamydomonas. This is in case of Chlamydomonas. Many zoospores are formed. These are flagellated, motile, asexual reproductive structures. Then we have example Penicillium, right? Penicillium, it's a fungi, right? Fungi में what are these spores? These are conidia. What type of spores they are? Non-motile. As you can see, hyphae के branches के tips पे round structures constructed है, टूटते हैं, constrict होते हैं, break होते हैं, and they are found in chains, right? And this is called as conidia. So we say they are exogenously formed structures, बाहर की तरफ प्रोड्यूस होते हैं, इसलिए हम कहेंगे exogenously produced structures, right? तो zoospores and what? Conidia. Conidia किस पे बनते हैं? ब्रांचेस पे, और इन ब्रांचेस को हम क्या कहते हैं? Conidiophores. क्या कहते हैं? Conidiophores. इसके अलावा दो तरह के और स्पोर्स हैं, that is Chlamydospores, right? Chlamydospores, actually these are what? Thick-walled structures. They are formed from the hyphae branches in case of Rhizopus. कैसे structures हैं? Thick-walled structures. As you can see, these are thick-walled structures. They are formed in case of hyphae of Rhizopus. Then we have another spores which are called Oidia. Oidia, they are formed at the tip of the hyphae, right? Thin-walled spores. हाइफी की ब्रेक डाउन होने से टिप्स पे थिन वॉल्ड स्ट्रक्चर्स तैयार होते हैं, जिनको हम क्या कहते हैं? ओइडिया. तो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, लेट मी रिपीट all the types of spores we have discussed. One is motile spore, that is zoospore, and rest all the three are non-motile. Non-motile में कौन से आ गए? Conidia. Conidia की खास बात क्या है? They are produced exogenously, बाहर की तरफ प्रोड्यूस होते हैं, right? दूसरी Chlamydospores की खास बात क्या है? They are thick-walled. हाइफी में thick-walled structures तैयार होते हैं, right? और Oidia, हाइफी के टिप्स पे thin-walled spores, हाइफी ही ब्रेक डाउन होता है और स्पोर की फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट होता चला जाता है. They are thin-walled spores which are called as Oidia, right? So the spore formation is clear to you, right? Now let us discuss another two structures. They are actually, we can also put them under spores, or we can use them as a separate heading also. Actually, this diagram shows budding in case of Hydra, and gemule formation in case of Spongilla. It is showing gemule formation in case of Spongilla. So bud, external bud. This is external bud. This is Hydra, this is the tentacles. Hydra की बॉडी के ऊपर एक एक्सटर्नल आउटग्रोथ अपीयर होती है, जिसको हम क्या कहते हैं? बड. आफ्टर इट ग्रोज टू ए सर्टेन साइज, छोटी थोड़े साइज अटेन करने के बाद ये पेरेंट बॉडी से डिटैच होके एक सेपरेट इंडिविजुअल की फॉर्म में रीग्रो करेगी एंड इट विल फॉर्म अनदर हाइड्रा. सो दिस इज बडिंग इन केस ऑफ हाइड्रा. नाउ लेट अस स्टडी दिस लास्ट डायग्राम. इट रिप्रेजेंट्स gamules. Gamules are found in Spongilla. This is the example, right? Now what the structure it shows? It is a rounded structure, and in this rounded body we have mass of cells inside. This mass of cells, it is called archaeocytes, right? And this is protective shell around this mass of cells, archaeocytes, and this is having spicules present in it, and this is micropyle through which during favorable conditions these cells will come out and they will form the new individuals. So I hope this is clear to you, right? Now let us look at all these again one by one, right? We will discuss them in details, right, in the later slides. Binary fission, right? Binary fission, we have examples: amoeba, euglena, paramecium. Multiple fission, actually binary fission we will talk under two headings, right? Binary fission and मल्टीपल फिशन. बाइनरी फिशन मीन्स सिंपली दो हिस्सों में डिवाइड हो जाना. मल्टीपल फिशन मैंने बहुत सारे small individuals तैयार करना, right? So example is amoeba and plasmodium, that is of multiple fission, right? Plasmotomy means breakdown of the multinucleate organism. What is plasmotomy? माने breakdown. Plasmotomy, plasma के membrane के अंदर जो भी structure है, multinucleate structure है, that will break down into many small structures without division of nuclei. That is called as plasmotomy. We see it in case of Opalina and Pleomyxa. These are the two examples of plasmotomy. Then budding, we will see with the help of an example in case of yeast. I'll make you understand in the later slides what is torula. Gamete, these are cup-like structures. They are found in the lower plants, and we have this example, Markentia. Regeneration, regrowth of the lost parts, right? We discuss it under two headings, morphollaxis and epimorphosis, right? Spore formation is of different types: zoospores, conidia, gamules, buds, chlamydospores, oidea, as we have discussed in the previous slide, right? So we have discussed this last part, that is the spore formation, in the previous slide. We will take up the next part in the next slides, right? Now talking about binary fission, let me explain one thing first. Fission again, फिशन की हमने पीछे भी बात की थी. फिशन का मतलब क्या होता है? दैट इज ब्रेकिंग डाउन ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिज्म इनटू पार्ट्स. टूट जाना ऑर्गेनिज्म का, दो हिस्सों में बट जाना, दो या दो से ज्यादा हिस्सों में बट जाना. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फिशन, राइट? सो वी हैव टू टाइप्स ऑफ फिशन. वन इज बाइनरी फिशन, अनदर इज मल्टीपल फिशन. बाइनरी फिशन का एग्जाम्पल क्या है? अमीबा. मल्टीपल फिशन का एग्जाम्पल क्या है? प्लाज्मोडियम. या फिर हम इसको अमीबा में भी we can take example of multiple fission amoeba also, right? So we will talk about fission in case of amoeba. I am taking here that is simple binary fission. So what I am going to explain here, simple binary fission. Is that clear to you students? Right? अभी हम क्या लेंगे? Simple binary fission की बात करेंगे. Simple binary, this is the example of amoeba. You can see this is irregular shape structure, right? Amoeba में क्या है? Inside nucleus, and this is all cytoplasm. So what happens? First of all, this is amoeba, okay? First what happens? Nucleus elongates. Nucleus elongates means nucleus खिंच जाता है. elongate लंबाई में बड़ा हो जाता है, right? As you can see it elongates. cytoplasm भी क्या करता है? अंदर की तरफ मूव करना शुरू करता है. cytoplasm constricts towards inner side. So first step क्या है? elongation of the nucleus elongates, right? Second step, cytoplasm की constriction देखने को मिलती है, that moves towards inside, and slowly a break appears between the cytoplasm and nuclei. The broken nuclei moves towards the two ends, and finally we get two daughter cells. So this is about simple binary fission. I hope it is clear to you. Right? So this is simple binary fission in case of amoeba. Now dear students, this is one type of binary fission, right? We have binary fission which takes place along longitudinal axis, लंबाई में होती है, right? As in case of euglena, right? It takes place along transverse axis, as in case of Opalina and planaria and planaria. Planaria. I hope it is clear to you, right? So it can take place along transverse axis, it can take place along longitudinal axis, right? So what we have discussed in details, the binary fission, that is simple binary fission, it can take place along different axes. Accordingly we have given the different names, right? I hope it is clear to you, right? Now next is multiple fission in amoeba. Multiple fission, multiple, many organisms, small organisms का तैयार होना अमीबा में, उसको हम क्या कहेंगे? Multiple fission. Is it clear? This word is clear to you, right? Now let us see with the help of diagram. First of all, this multiple fission कब होती है? Unfavorable, बाहर की conditions favorable नहीं है, बाहर की climatic conditions favorable नहीं है, they are not suitable for the amoeba to reproduce. तो वो क्या करता है? एक अपने इर्द गिर्द अमीबा एक 3-layered wall create करता है. So this is amoeba, right? And it creates a 3-layered wall around itself, and this is called as cyst. Cyst wall बना लेगा, right? So, and inside this cyst, nuclei divide many times, right? पहला स्टेप क्या हुआ? अपने इर्द गिर्द एक प्रोटेक्टिव शेल बना लेता है जो कि 3-layered वॉल है, राइट? इसलिए हमने स्ट्रक्चर को क्या नाम दिया? सिस्ट. रिपीट, फर्स्ट स्टेप में अमीबा सिक्रीट्स ए सिस्ट वॉल. सिस्ट वॉल क्या है? प्रोटेक्टिव 3-layered structure which is formed around this amoeba. This is amoeba, and it enters into the stage which is called encystation. The stage is called encystation. The nuclei divides many times, बहुत बार divide करता है, and many small spore-like structures, these are spore-like structures, they are formed. What are formed? Spore-like structures. Ultimately, this wall dissolves, right? This wall dissolves, and what comes out? Many small amoebae, they come out. Small amoebae, they come out. I hope it is clear to you, right? I'll repeat, it takes place during unfavorable conditions, right? It secretes a cyst wall, and this is called encystation, right? During favorable conditions, please note, during favorable conditions, right? This encysted amoeba, it divides to form many small, क्या बनाता है? Amoebae, right? It forms many small amoebae. So this is multiple fission in case of amoeba. I hope, dear students, this is clear to you all, right? So we proceed further, right? Now first we have discussed two types of asexual reproduction. पहला क्या किया था? Spore formation. फिर हमने क्या डिस्कस किया? Fission in case of amoeba with the help of example. We took example of amoeba, we took example of then multiple fission में again we took example of amoeba, right? Now we will study next, that is budding in case of yeast. Is that clear to you? What we are going to study? Budding in case of yeast, right? So this is the parent cell, right? Parent cell of, I would say this is the yeast cell, right? This is the nucleus, right? This is contractile vacuole, clear, right? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल क्या अपीयर होता है इसके ऊपर? एक आउट ग्रोथ अपीयर होती है, राइट? इन द मीन टाइम न्यूक्लियस भी क्या करता है? न्यूक्लियस डिवाइड्स माइटोटिकली, डिवाइड्स बाय माइटोसिस, राइट? माइटोटिकली अपनी ही तरह का एक न्यूक्लियस प्रोड्यूस करेगा, राइट? और आउटग्रोथ में एक पार्ट न्यूक्लियस का एंटर करेगा. न्यूक्लियस एंटर्स आउट ग्रोथ, right? Slowly this outgrowth changes into bud and detaches. It may remain attached and produce another bud, right? Or it may detach, right? So slowly a chain of these outgrowths develop sometimes, and this resembles the species which is called as torula, and this process is also called as torulation, right? So what is budding? How budding takes place in the yeast? Yeast, this is a rounded structure. First of all, an outgrowth appears, nucleus divides, a part of nucleus enters into the outgrowth, right? That outgrowth changes into the bud. Slowly the bud may change into chains. It may form chains of buds. They appear like torula, and this is called as torulation. I hope this much is clear to you all, right? So this is budding in case of yeast. Now next, last part of asexual reproductive structures we are going to talk. That is, we will discuss gemule again, we will talk about fragmentation, we will talk about gametes, we will talk about regeneration one by one, right? Gemules. I told you before also, what are these? Asexual reproductive structures, right? And they are found in case of sponges. We call them endogenous buds because they are formed inside the body. They are called as endogenous buds. Then we have fragmentation. Fragmentation, what happens? We see it in case of paramecium, we see it in case of spirogyra, clear, right? We see it in case of paramecium, we see it in case of spirogyra. So what happens? The whole body of the organism, right, it divides into fragments. This is called as fragmentation. So the whole body will divide into pieces. This is called as fragmentation. Each fragment is capable of forming a new individual. This is fragmentation. Next is gamete. Gamete are what? Actually, they can be unicellular or they can be multicellular, right? So they can be unicellular or multicellular. What happens? गैमे क्या करते हैं? पेरेंट से डिटैच हो जाते हैं, हट जाते हैं, रिमूव हो जाते हैं and form new individuals, right? Example हम लेंगे lower plants का, that is Markensia, right? Markensia में ये multicellular structures हैं, right? They are multicellular and they are formed in gamecups. They are present in gamecups, right? So this is gamete, right? I hope these three things are clear to you. I'll repeat: gamules, fragmentation and gamete. Gamules क्या है? Endogenous buds हैं. Spongilla we find commonly in spongilla. I have explained the structure before, right? So they are what? They are rounded structures having a protective shell, right? And micropyle above. And this is a mass of cells which is called archeocytes. And this protective shell has this spicules around itself. It is forming a protective shell, right? Fragmentation divides, the organism divides itself into small pieces or fragments. Each fragment is capable of giving rise to a new individual. That is called fragmentation. Gamete, they can be unicellular structures or multicellular structures, and sometimes they are multicellular. In case of Markensia, they are present in cup-like structures, gamete, cups which we call them, right? They detach from the parent body and they form new individuals. I hope all this is clear to you. And last part of asexual reproduction is left, that is regeneration. Now let us take regeneration. Regeneration का मतलब क्या है? रीग्रोथ करना. आपने कभी सुना है लिजर्ड की टेल, पीछे लिजर्ड को आप टच करो या कुछ ऐसे, जब इट फेसेस सम एनिमी अराउंड, व्हाट इट डज, इट विल लीव द टेल. और फिर वो टेल क्या करती है, रीग्रो करती है, एंड दैट इज व्हाट, रीजेनरेशन, right? So we have two types. We discussed this regeneration under two headings. One is morpholexis and another is epimorphosis. Morpholexis means regrowth of the complete body from injured part. Regrowth of complete body from injured part, that is called morpholexis. Epimorphosis means regrow only injured part, restore the injured part, I would say, restoration of the injured part, that is called as epimorphosis, right? Morpholexis, complete organism को grow करना from any cut part, right? और एक छोटे से injured part को grow करना, that in case of we have taken the example of the tail of a lizard, that is epimorphosis. I hope this much is clear to you all, right? So this is all about what? Asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction, let us see what we have done. We have discussed the different types of asexual reproduction. What are the different types? We have discussed fission, we have discussed fragmentation, we have discussed gamete formation, we have discussed spore formation, we have discussed regeneration. I hope all these are clear to you, right? We will discuss now vegetative propagation in plants. Let us understand the meaning of vegetative propagation. Vegetative means from some vegetative parts. Vegetative parts कौन से हुए? It can be root, it can be shoot, it can be some leaves, right? So they can be some vegetative parts or some floral buds. They are vegetative parts of the plants. Propagation means multiplication. So we are discussing what? Multiplication in plants through some vegetative parts. We call them as vegetative propagules. We call them vegetative propagules. Now, what are the different vegetative parts which take part in vegetative propagation? They are runners, right? Eyes on tuber, offsets, bulbs, rhizome, bulbils, and leaf buds. Now we will discuss one by one. What is a runner? Runner, it grows horizontally along the surface of the ground. So what is runner? It is in one internode long structure which grows horizontally along the ground, and at some place it gives crown of leaves, right? That is runner. One example I have written oxalis. बहुत common example आपने घर में देखा होगा, that is धूप grass. धूप grass, we use it in all those what you say पूजा पाठ वगैरह में जो धूप ग्रास यूज होता है, आपने उसको कई बार उखाड़ के देखो, एक ग्रो करेगा, फिर उसके बाद थोड़ी देर के बाद उसके ऊपर क्राउन ऑफ लीव्स एंड सम रूट्स दे अपीयर, तो इस तरह से वो मल्टीप्लाई करता रहता है, बहुत जल्दी फैल जाता है. दैट इज रनर एंड दैट इज वेजिटेटिव प्रोपगेशन इन धूप ग्रास. नेक्स्ट वी हैव आइज ऑन ट्यूबर. पोटैटो तो सबने देखा होगा, वी हैव टेकन द एग्जांपल ऑफ पोटैटो, राइट? उसके ऊपर कुछ बर्ड्स अपीयर होते हैं, होनी शुरू हो जाती है थोड़े टाइम के बाद, राइट? एंड दिस eyes on tuber actually are the regions which the bud-like structures appear, which can give rise to new plant, right? Then we have offsets. Offsets, we see they are actually runners, similar to runners which are found in aquatic plants, right? Aquatic plants may one internode long runners which are found, they are called as offsets. And we have taken the example water hyacinth. Water hyacinth की बड़ी खास बात क्या है कि ये बहुत जल्दी फैल जाता है, बहुत जल्दी मल्टीप्लाई कर जाता है, और जहाँ मल्टीप्लाई करेगा पूरी वाटर बॉडी को कवर कर लेगा और उसमें से जितनी भी ऑक्सीजन है वो खत्म कर देगा, right? So we will talk about water hyacinth again in the next slide as a separate topic, right? Bulbs are what? Condensed shoots which can give rise to new plants. Condensed shoots which can give rise to new plant. Example is onion and garlic, rhizome, ginger. We have taken the example of rhizome, that is ginger, right? We find on ginger some fleshy leaves like structures, right? And the internodes are seen on the ginger, and these regions are capable of forming the new plants, right? They store food during unfavorable conditions, and during favorable conditions they form new plants. Bulbils. Next is bulbils, floral buds, fleshy floral buds which are formed on floral axis. They are called as bulbils, as in case of agave, right? Then we have leaf buds. Bryophyllum is very important example. एक और example इसमें ले लेते हैं कई बार, बिगनोनिया, ठीक है? दो एग्जाम्पल्स ले लेते हैं. ब्रायोफिलम की लीव्स के कॉर्नर में क्या होते हैं? बड्स होते हैं, राइट? जैसे कि ये I'll show you with the help of slide, right? Bryophyllum के कॉर्नर में adventitious buds होते हैं, and these buds can give rise to complete plant, right? So this is different means of vegetative propagation in case of plants. My dear students, these are what? Natural vegetative means of propagation. क्या बात की है हमने? ये सारे कौन से हैं? Natural ways. What are these? Natural methods of vegetative propagation. Then we have artificial methods also. Artificial methods also, like we have cutting, we have grafting, right? Mainly we talk about these two. Then we have tissue culture also. So आर्टिफिशियल मेथड्स में कौन से आगे? कटिंग में स्टेम की कटिंग उठा लो, रूट की कटिंग उठा लो, उन सब को क्या किया जाता है? किसी ग्रोथ हार्मोन में डिप किया जाता है, एंड देन दे आर टेकन फॉर वेजिटेटिव प्रोपेगेशन. ग्राफ्टिंग में क्या किया जाता है? दो प्लांट्स को सिलेक्ट किया जाता है, एक का शूट सिस्टम अच्छा है, दूसरे का रूट सिस्टम अच्छा है, दोनों को ज्वाइन किया जाता है एंड टू फॉर्म ए न्यू प्लांट विच इज हैविंग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ both the plants, right? Then we have tissue culture. Tissue culture is done in laboratory. From any cell or any tissue of the plant, we can form many different plantlets or plants. That is called tissue culture, right? So this is about vegetative propagation in plants, right? So what are the advantages of vegetative propagation? वेजिटेटिव प्रोपेगेशन की क्या एडवांटेजेस हैं, राइट? वी एक्चुअली पहला तो आ गया, आपने देखा रैपिड मीन्स ऑफ मल्टीप्लिकेशन इन प्लांट्स. बहुत मल्टीप्लाई अगर हमें फास्ट तरीके से करना है तो दिस इज वेजिटेटिव प्रोपेगेशन विच हेल्प्स इन रैपिड मल्टीप्लिकेशन. इट हेल्प्स टू मेंटेन जेनेटिक यूनिफॉर्मिटी. जेनेटिक कैरेक्टर्स रिटेन करता है प्लांट की, सो इट हेल्प्स टू मेंटेन जेनेटिक यूनिफॉर्मिटी. देन इट हेल्प्स टू प्रोड्यूस डिजीज फ्री plants. Disease free. Plants should be free from virus, bacteria, all these diseases, right? So these are the advantages of vegetative propagation. Is that clear to you? Right? What are the disadvantages? अगर advantage है तो disadvantage भी होगी, right? Disadvantage means they don't show variations. No variations. Variations नहीं होंगी तो they have no role to play in evolution. So is that right? I'll repeat what we have talked about. Vegetative propagation in plants. It occurs naturally by different means, that is by runners, eyes on tuber, offsets, bulbs, rhizomes, bulbils, leaf buds, and all that. I hope it is clear to you, right? Now let us see with the help of the diagrams what we have studied, right? See, you can see this eyes having eye buds. These are germinating eye buds in the potato, right? These are germinating eye buds on the potato. These are the eyes, right? And this is ginger having nodes, and in between the nodes the buds they appear, right? This is bulbil in case of agave. This is bryophyllum As you can see at the notches, we have adventitious buds, and this is Ashornia, or this is the scientific name. Commonly we call it as water hyacinth, right? It shows one internode long runner and it can multiply very, very fast, right? So these are the various modes of vegetative propagation in plants, right? I hope all this is clear to you. So what we have completed, we have done asexual reproduction in plant organisms, we have discussed vegetative propagation in plants, we have discussed advantages and disadvantages of vegetative propagation. So last of all, let me take what are the advantages and disadvantages of asexual reproduction. Let me clear one thing first, that vegetative propagation in plants jo humne padhi hai, that is also what we also call it, can we call it asexual reproduction? Yes, we can also call it asexual reproduction, which is taking place in the plants. Now let us sum up at the end, what are the advantages and disadvantages of asexual reproduction? It is uniparental, single parent is involved. It involves simple process of division, right? No meiosis, no formation of gametes, so it involves simple process of division. It is a quick method of reproduction. Young ones are similar to parents. I hope it is clear to you. There are no variations, so it has no role to play in the evolution. So this is all about asexual reproduction in organisms, vegetative propagation, which is also asexual reproduction in plants, right? So is that clear to you all? Now let us see. I told you on one slide that we will discuss water hyacinth as a separate topic. Very important topic. Exams mein question aa jata hai. Why water hyacinth is called as terror of Bengal, right? I am using the word terror of Bengal, terror of Bengal, क्योंकि इतना ज़्यादा बंगाल में ये एक्चुअली देखा गया था पहले. तो ये पहले क्या था, this plant was brought to India actually for its beautiful flowers. इसके flowers they had a very ornamental look, so it was brought to India for its beautiful flowers, right? But slowly it multiplied so fast, it became invasive weed, जिसको हम हटा नहीं सकते थे, इस तरह का वीड बन गया, राइट? इसने क्या किया, सारी ऑक्सीजन जहां पे भी ये ग्रो करता था, इट यूज टू फिनिश द ऑक्सीजन, राइट? जब ऑक्सीजन पानी की खत्म हो गई तो इट विल लीड टू डेथ ऑफ द फिशेस. सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन, वेरी फेवरेट क्वेश्चन कम्स इन CBSE एग्जाम्स, दैट इज व्हाई वाटर हाइसिंथ इज कॉल्ड एज टेरर ऑफ बंगाल. लेट मी शेयर, वाटर हाइसिंथ इज ऑल्सो साइंटिफिक नेम आशोर्निया. इसका साइंटिफिक नेम आइशोर्निया है, राइट? अगर एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आता है व्हाई आइशोर्निया इज कॉल्ड टेरर ऑफ बंगाल, डू नॉट कंफ्यूज, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हाट, वाटर हाइसिंथ. वाटर हाइसिंथ क्या है? इट शोज रैपिड रेट ऑफ मल्टीप्लिकेशन. इतना रेट मल्टीप्लिकेशन है, इट बिकम्स इन्वेसिव वीड, इट ड्रेन्स ऑक्सीजन, कॉजेज डेथ ऑफ फिशेज. इट वाज ब्रॉट टू इंडिया फॉर इट्स ब्यूटीफुल flowers. Now this bryophyllum, it is having adventitious buds which arise from the notches of the leaves, as you can see in the picture itself, right? I hope it is clear to you. So this is all about asexual reproduction in plants and in organisms. I hope all these points are clear to you in your mind, right? Now let us revise, let us recapitulate, let us see how much we have understood from the topic, right? Now first of all, we will define the 3 terms which we have found in the word lifespan. Remember, lifespan we have discussed right in the beginning. What is juvenile, mature, senescence phase, right? Juvenile, when organism begins to grow and acquires ability to reproduce. Mature, when organism starts reproducing. Senescence, when progressive deterioration of body parts starts taking place, that is called senescence. What are zoospores? Motile asexual reproductive structures. Example, Chlamydomonas. Give examples where we find Conidia, Penicillium, Gemmules in case of Spongula. Why water hyacinth is called terror of Bengal? I have discussed earlier, right? Because it has shows rapid rate of multiplication. It becomes invasive wherever it grows. It drains oxygen, ultimately leads to death of the fishes. Now, what give modes of vegetative propagation in ginger? Bryophyllum. In ginger we have rhizome. In bryophyllum we have buds present on the notches of the leaves. This is all in this video. We will come again with another interesting topic. Until then, keep learning, keep sharing. Thanks and goodbye.